that are not constitutional should be balanced.
Hello?
Yes, did you hear what I said?
I didn't hear the last thing you said.
I said that in one breath, you could stop the president's appointment.
Yeah.
Not balanced.
Okay.
Another breath, you could cut him some slack because the constitution is fine on what he should do with the cabinet.
Okay, so let's look at what people are complaining about, because usually it's not just about appointments, it's what is considered key appointments. The heads of central bank, NNPC, the police, army, customs, intelligence agency, anti-corruption agency, and revenue service, to some degree, the people heading these agencies seem to be from one particular part of the country. And I know that we started by asking, well, the president has the right, but should we be focusing on where the person is from or competence? I've said this before. If a man from whatever part of the country is appointed into a position and he can deliver excellently, why should that matter?
Okay. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Let me refer you to the Bible. Abraham was going to die, and he left an instruction to his servant, said that when my son is ready to marry, make sure he marries from among my people.
Yeah.
In the New Testament, you have a quotation that says, to be good to everyone. He now said, especially those who are of the household of faith. And then you flip to our constitution. Of late, I've been reading some parts of our constitution, and I found a very big problem in the constitution.
Tell me.
And that is found in the fourth constitution, referring to freedom of association. I don't know if time will permit me to read, but let me just paraphrase what it says. That every Nigerian is free to join any union, political party, any kind of association to pursue their own interest. Not national interest. Not the interest of your ward. Not the interest of your state. Not the interest of your local government. Not the national interest. Your personal interest. And like rightly said in your introduction, the president was so prophetic in his campaign when he said, Emilio, my own. Yes. And I remember a situation when he started under Buhari, I like what the historian did. He referred to Jonathan trying to balance, but I could still find some fault in Jonathan's appointment. You realize that under Jonathan, even but it's an association that seeks to change power, to wrestle power in a democratic system. So the reason why Tinubu joined AG, that metamorphosed into ACS, and metamorphosed into APC, it is for his own personal interest. So he's doing all of that for his own personal interest. And I think it was El-Rufai or so that was quoted to have said under Buhari when people complain about nepotism. That why is Buhari appointing only Northerners as pro-state? And I remember that state said, if he doesn't appoint his friends, should he appoint his enemies? So you see all of this is, but I'm saying that it's deeply rooted in that constitutional text in section 40. That people are more interested in personal. If you watch under President Goodluck Jonathan, there was this complaint when Ijeoma became chief of army staff. And rumors had it that the reason why an Igbo man for the first time after the civil war became chief of army staff is because the army is the largest contingent in the armed forces. And who knows the army is very critical to the president's security. And before we knew what was happening, General Minima became head of state. Became chief of army staff. The question is, was he the most senior officer or the most qualified at the time he became chief of army staff? The answer is a blank no. Buhari did the same thing when he became chief of commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He ensured that all chief of army staff, the northerners, are Muslims. So you see where all of these things are coming from. The NNPC was headed by Southerners under Jonathan. The journey was Minister of Petroleum. Minister of Finance was Okunde Iweala. And the list goes on and on, but I'm saying that this problem is rooted in our political culture and in our constitution. which is that leadership is about self-survival, and all of that. That's where the problem is coming from. So it's difficult to now begin to blame Tinubu. Tinubu only took it a step further.
Yeah, well, 100% is quite a step for them. Okay, we have very short time before the break. I think I can squeeze this in before that break. Usually, you begin to get an idea of how it will go from the choice of a running mate. The last time it was okay for a Muslim ticket to happen was Abiola and Kingibe. Of course, we know what happened to that election. Yeah. But after that, everybody has decided to choose a person from a different religion. Obasanjo, Atiku, Goodluck, Sambo, Buhari, Professor Yemi. And now our president has a Muslim as a running mate. Was that supposed to be a sign to Nigerians that things will not be as they are supposed to? I don't even know how to land the question. Were we supposed to get something from that?
Perfectly, and I drew everybody's attention to that fact. Don't forget that El-Rufai has experimented it in Kaduna. You know, in Kaduna State, usually, most of the middle belt states, when you have a Christian governor, you have a Muslim deputy. When you have a Muslim, like in Plateau, for instance, I think you don't know in Plateau you have both Christian and Christian deputies. But that is very explainable because the Muslim population in Plateau, there are about 2 local governments alone. However, President Tinubu tested a lot of water that people didn't bother to say. You know, I am of the opinion, maybe I'll leave this to after the bill because it's quite a I want to give.
Okay.
However, he tested that water with Muslim ticket, and Nigerians couldn't fight it off, and then he took further to become a president.
All right.
As he's alleged right now.
So let's take that break now. After that, we make more sense of this conversation. Please stay with us. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu here. And our conversation for this hour is the concern raised about ethnic imbalance in the appointments, the top appointments of President Bola Tinubu. There are lots of people stating that it heavily favors the Yoruba ethnic group. And it's not just a suggestion, it's a statement of fact. Because those people occupying those offices are known to Nigerians. But speaking to the BBC on Monday, history professor Tijani Nania revealed that for the first time in Nigeria's democratic history, all 8 of the nation's most sensitive positions are held by Yorubas, an imbalance that he warns threatens national unity. And my guest, who is Mr. Marcus Ijeoma, is on the phone, trying to help me make sense of this and explain exactly how it does threaten unity. You're welcome once again, Marcus.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, you were sharing something before the break, I believe.
Yeah.
I had asked you, I'm trying to remember what idea you were sharing before we took that break. Yes, I was speaking about merit versus ethnicity. Why it matters.
Yeah, so, now, the issue of today, I remember having this conversation with someone in the military a while ago, and we dabbled from the military into sensitive government-owned companies like the petroleum company and what have you. Now, this is what happens to those who take around federal character and super system, right? Did that just like NYSC for national unity after the Civil War, so that everybody can have a sense of belonging. However, Sam, this is where the problem begins. We have 36 states of the Federation. All 36 states don't have the equal number of local governments. So let me give a very bizarre example. In fact, that the Northerners are the ones complaining, but the truth is that most of these abnormalities occurred under northern, either military held of state or president. The most of it happened under them. Beginning with Babangida to Abacha, you know. Let me give you a very funny example. So Kano State and Rivers State have the same dated the same time. Okay? From the old and northern region and all of those big stuff. But look at the trees now. So Kano State has currently considered as 44 local governments.
Okay.
Don't forget that Jigawa was carved out of Kano State. So Jigawa has 23. Bayelsa was carved out of Rivers State. Bayelsa has 9 or 8 local governments.
8.
So let's go to police or army recruitment. So you now come and say every state should bring one person from each local government. How many people will Kano State bring? 44. On the surface, it looks like you are being fair to say that each local government one candidate. But when you look at it critically, you realize that while Rivers and Bayelsa will be bringing somewhere around the 31, Kano and Jigawa is already in 60 something. That explains why you have a particular ethnic group look like they are dominating the military. That is just the military. Now you go to NFPC, you say, oh, every state should bring one person during NFPC recruitment. Another company that should be left for only experts and intelligent people. So you now go and bring somebody from the university in the north whose cut-off mark was 120. I know this for sure because I applied Diallo University in Kano in 2000. At the time, Diallo University was admitting indigenous or catchment area for 120. Imo State University, where that was my second choice, was 180. So somebody graduates from somewhere there with that kind of low grade, but because in Kano State must provide somebody, the guy who has third class, just because he's from Kano State, gets the appointment. Meanwhile, you have about 16 third class from Rivers or Abia State, and they are supposed to just bring one. These are the people that will now go and sit on the same table with IOC to negotiate how many barrel Nigeria have sold and Nigeria have not sold and how the oil industry is tied. So it's not just about political appointment alone. This is a historical problem. Ordinarily, you say it should remain merit. But you see, when we don't want to think about merit, like you already said in your introduction, why do we even do Thanksgiving when people get appointments? It is not because we feel once they get into office, they will steal and give us. Because if you ask a political office holder, how much is their salary? When you compare it to the lifestyle that they live. I know somebody who got appointment in that state here. His house is not far from where I'm speaking to now. That house was built in less than a year. Massive. I'm talking a state appointment. What was his salary? There are many people who got into civil service from this quota system, each local government, each world, bringing people who are in civil service level 14, 17, 18, whose salary, like the former head of service that just resigned, said, the salary is 500,000. But their children are schooling abroad. And nobody is asking questions. So this thing is a historical problem, like I said. Tinubu only amplified it, he made it worse. And it's a normal thing with human behavior. When somebody starts something and you don't stop it, the next person only gets to amplify it. The other day I was thinking to myself, Sam, if I become president today, case not taking 90% of my appointment will probably be from Benue State. You know why? That is where I grew up. And most of my trusted men who should watch my back so I don't get killed as president are from there. And there's no law against such. So we can only continue to wallow in this emotional back and forth until we look at this constitutional provision that seeks to glorify personal interest more than the interest of the country. So the most of our leaders are more interested in their personal survival and political survival than the survival of the people that they govern.
Okay. Now, according to the analysis given by the person who spoke to the BBC, he said that the anger of the North is obviously not just the fact that these appointments lean towards one ethnic group, but that for many of those appointments, Northerners had to be taken out to be replaced by the Yorubas. And we're talking about the NNPC, the police, customs, and the EFCC. They all replace Northerners. So
that is like, why were they all Northerners? It's not Buhari that put the Northerners there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it was during Buhari that the Northerners ended everywhere. The biggest losers in this whole system are the Igbos. When you talk, they say they don't have population, and the other minority tribes. When do you think Ijeoma will be the next president of Nigeria? So they use population, and these things I've explained to you from the way our local governments are set up. If you want to solve this problem, go back to the constitution. Every state should have the same number of local governments. Number two,
that's not
the county, for instance.
Hold on.
County has 5 states.
Marcus, that's not feasible.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
It's very, let me tell you how it is feasible. Because some of these large local governments they are calling in Kano a landmark, they are not human population. I can tell you for free.
Yeah, but
that's why you have concentration of people in Obia that can be divided into 5 local governments.
A state.
Why is it not feasible?
No, wait, hold on. Wait. Marcus, there has to be some credits given to a state with a wide landmass. You and I know that Niger State alone is supposed to be a country.
Are you governing landmass or you are governing human beings?
No. I understand, right? But the truth is, Niger State is big. You can't take that away. It is big.
Niger State is bigger than the whole Southeast. I agree with you.
Exactly.
Is it fair?
So
the
if
Southeast has 5 states, hold on, Southeast has 5 states. So as I speak to you now, the southeastern part of Nigeria is short 3 senators in the National Assembly. I'll short about 5 House of Representatives in the National Assembly. As I speak to you, the southeast is short 1 minister. The southeast is short 1 governor. Meanwhile, there's a region in the north that has 7 states. While the other regions have 6 states. Why have the north never complained that why should we have 7 and other places have 6 and 5? Why have they not advocated that every region in the south should have 7 states, just like northeast? Why are we being unfair to ourselves?
Marcus, I get your position.
So we should go back to the constitution and level this thing, because I will round up by saying every local government has a qualified person to be president of Nigeria. So it's not about how many local governments you have. That's why I know that if you make every state 10 local governments we will say that we can now say, okay, when each local government bring out your best person for us. That can work. But until then, if it's not the constitutional matter and the constitution is insisting on personal interest, then we have no reason to complain. Just wait for your turn.
Okay. No further questions, Marcus. Come and be going. Thank you very much for joining us. It's always a pleasure sharing space and time with you. Have yourself a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So my guest says we should go back to the Constitution. Yes, you might have problems with this administration for pushing the appointments more towards his ethnic group. But the president has, legally speaking, constitutionally speaking, not done anything wrong. He has a right to do it. And tomorrow, if you become president, you can have all the major appointments come from your village or your local government area. Now, the key appointments, when we're talking about the top appointment, we're talking central bank, state-owned oil company, which is NNPC, the police, the army, customs, intelligence agencies, anti-corruption agencies, EFCC and the other ones, and revenue service. When you have people fill these positions, those are the main institutions, the main agencies, commissions in Nigeria, and whoever runs those literally runs the country. Well, it's time for you to be a part of the conversation. 08179230002. 08179230003. WhatsApp is 08090306416. What do you make of the concerns raised about the ethnic leaning by the president for top appointments? What do you make of my guest's position that we have to go back to the Constitution and fix what he claims is an error? Call me and tell me. And if you do call me, please turn off your radio. It is very important. Thank God, Atuebu says... Okay, thank God, that's not for this conversation. No, yes, now I have it. There's regional imbalance in Tinubu's appointment. Sam, if you ask me if the president is fair to all zones in appointment, my answer will be no. Mr. President should try and balance the equation from, thank God, ability. Atuebu. Okay. Good evening, Sam. So far, Nigeria is multi-tribal. Appointments should not be lopsided. Other tribes are included in Nigeria, so appointments should be decentralized to avoid tribalism and nepotism. Ipalibo Taylor Harry says. Ken calls from Obimini. Hello, Ken. Good evening.
Good afternoon, SOC.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
SOC, are you surprised?
No, I'm just having conversations.
Stood up and beat his chest that this is his turn. What else are we expecting from such person? This is his time, of course, and I believe this is also his opportunity. So he feels to carry all his tribal kinsmen along. Because after the 8 years, according to their own constitution, everybody will know that, yes, he has done it for his people. I don't know if you can remember that the Niger Deltas or the Riverine state, we are calling one of our sons woman president because he was diplomatically following the state of the nation as a democratic. I don't know if you're understanding me, but now we are not seeing it. So whether we say we are one Nigeria and there is no tribalism in our dealings, it is quite unfortunate. Ezekiel, calling from Ubumi.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. Daniel calls from Imogate. Hello, Daniel.
Good evening, Samara.
Good evening.
Yes. It is clear since 1999 that this democratic dispensation started after the military. I have never seen such a lopsided appointment. And it's like every other ethnic group kept silent because maybe in one way or the other they are favored. But if Nigeria should continue like this, don't you think, my brother Samora, that we are only pretending to be one? I hate pretense. Chinke Daniel Imogete hate pretense. We are pretending to be one. That's my take.
All right, thank you very much, Chinke Daniel. Now, while these conversations are important, let us remember that the president has broken no rule. This whole federal character, the quota system, is for the purpose of it is an ethical thing, right? Yes, it's nice that you do it just because we are multicultural, multi-ethnic. So let it seem like the thing went around. It touched everybody. But if the president says, not only do I want to appoint from one ethnicity, in fact, I will do it from one state, one local government area, he has not broken any law. The people in those positions are, well, based on provisions of the Constitution, qualified, depending on where he's getting them from, to take those positions. It is just for the purpose of representation. Oh, my brother is in this position. Lawson from Yenagua. Hello, Lawson.
Hello, Sam.
Good evening.
Sometimes I feel we worry ourselves over nothing. Honestly, we worry ourselves over nothing. What does it really matter? Wherever a person is coming from. After all, they look at that Federal Executive Council. They are as ministers from every state. And then if you look at it, where people keep talking about the NDD man, I know it's a Bayelsa man. Local content here in Yenagua. I don't know. The problem with people is people like to always complain. That's our problem. These are Nigerians. Are they qualified? Yes. And then they are occupying the office, and instead of you to bother yourself with whether in that office they are performing or not, and then you begin to talk about where they are from. Honestly, people try to always make this government look like it is a Yoruba government. How? Look, go around. Yes, sometimes it can be more people from a particular place. It doesn't matter. So far as they are doing what, like look at the NNPCL. When the list came out, oh, it is this, it is that. But look at those people in that NNPCL. Tell me who is not qualified there. These are people, the best hands you can find in the industry. They are the ones occupying it. Oh, but they say this one is Yoruba, this one is Hausa, this one. That's why this country is not. We are not making progress. We don't move at all. We don't move. So for me, even you yourself have said the president has done nothing wrong. So why is it making it to your this thing, and then people are calling? Look for something more important for us to talk about. Not who is appointed. See, let me tell you something. Agui Ronsi. Did you know part of why Agui Ronsi was toppled? Why it was toppled? Anyway, let me not go into all of that because I might be going into something that might make people feel somehow. But let me not go there at all. But okay. What I am saying is that let us concentrate on important things so that we can move this country forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chima from Rumokuta. Hello, Chima. Good evening.
Mr. Orako, good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Orako, at this point in time, I am supposed to be believing that our politics or our society is supposed to be bigger than this ethnicity and tribalism. Even when I complain about this religious something, it's even eating us more. Are the people qualified? Yes. Are they Nigerians? Yes. Are they doing the job properly? Yes. If no, sack them. I will not be punished because of my brother. I will not be denied of position that I am qualified to hold because my brother is the governor of Rivers State. I went to school. I read for this, and I worked for it. Well, Mr. Orako, if you are given an appointment, you don't know me too well, only by phone or Facebook. Will you give me a task when you have somebody that is close to you that you know that can handle it? That's just the thing. You must work from people that you know. If you know it, then exhibit yourself so they will not choose you. Now, are you forgetting that this is democracy that has to do with politics? At the time, there was a time Buhari was asked that his appointment is becoming nepotism or whatever. He told them that I will not give appointment to the place I have lesser votes. Because why? They do not believe in my ideology. So if they come, they are going to crumble it. So I have to work with people that believe me, that gave me votes, that believe in my manifesto. So to me, the president didn't do anything wrong. I do my things with the Nigerian Constitution. I've said it over and over. What is written in the book, let us do it. Thank you very much. My name is Chima Dike from Mokuta.
Thank you, Chima. Promise from Rumo Dumaya. Hello, Promise.
Yes, today, my brother, I think to me, there's no need to deliberate much. What really matters here is ability and the accountability to carry out the task. You understand? Not really ridiculous for the whatever. The ability to carry out that.
Okay. I apologize, Promise. Some part of a major part I could not get. JJ from Rumibo. Good evening.
Sam, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Sam, almost all the presidents have been accused of nepotism, right?
Mm.
Now, the nepotism that they are accusing the president as if favor Nigeria, most qualified. Most qualified. The final is not working. Most qualified. PhD has not even brought light for overtime now, but they collect light for money for darkness. Most qualified. How did they do this thing that Nigerians don't hear when they are recruiting for CBN, when they are recruiting for NFTCL, when they are recruiting for some of those areas Nigerians don't hear? But you hear the chief of or whatever calling, tell your people to go and join army. Is it Maku society that we belong to? So if what they are doing right now has not helped the society, rather we are nosediving every day, would you change it for goodness sake now? Now you bring people, you cannot say, Sam, this thing you did like this, I fire you. You remember Buhari, one of the IGP who is ordered through the whole world that go to Benue. He didn't go to Benue. Did he fire him? Because it's true man, no man that he came, he didn't come through whatever. That means we should just continue this way. That's why we are praising the president. Remember when Ali Ndume accused the president of nepotism or lopsided, and they came, they published whatever. At the end of the day, would they publish it again? If we continue this way, we'll be on autopilot. If you want to bring people in, trust everybody, pick the best. Not all this one, president will bring this. If you tell I beg. People that like this, I don't know. They cannot place one kind of talk now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Well, as long as we have the Constitution, we have these conversations and concerns will exist. But I need to state, which I'm sure you already know, for certain positions, please, we must select the most competent. This year, I've traveled a couple of times already. I've had some engagements, and I will still go to a few places before the year runs out. I have programs that I've been booked for already. I don't care where the pilot is from. As a matter of fact, the last time, I did not even know who the pilot was. But the point is, I made it to my destination and came back. For technical issues, for your doctor, your pilot, and people who need to, please let us select the most competent. For other things that, might not make any difference, we can now find a way to share it. Representation is important, but competence is more important. That's how I put it. Thank you.